Cryptocurrencies. Recently, there's been a lot of talk that there could be a possibility of a repeat of 2017, and that's when a lot of popular gaming graphics cards were sold out of retailers. You couldn't get any stock, especially at MSRP prices, and we even saw certain GPUs pretty much double in price to what you'd be used to paying. After that, we saw a massive crash, and of course, there was a lot of used mined graphics cards on the market where you could get really good deals. But there is, with the recent price surge of Bitcoin, a new fear that GPUs, especially gaming graphics cards, could be at risk of being sold out again. So today we're going to talk about this possibility, and actually scary enough, I've done a bit of research and there is one possibility I can see happening where gaming graphics cards could be in another frenzy like we saw in 2017. But there's also a lot going against it. So let's discuss both sides, and then you guys can be the judge on what you think is going to happen. So graphics cards like this, the GTX 1660 Ti, and also I'm going to point in to the equation the GTX 1660, which would be probably the most relevant mid-range GPUs for most gamers. Are these at risk of being sold out? Well, at the moment, no. And the reason why is if we go over to a website, for instance, whattomine.com, it will give you how much profit you can earn per day if you were to start mining cryptocurrency on a graphics card like this. So now, just to replicate a scenario on what a typical at-home miner would get, I'm going to put in 10 GTX 1660 Ti, since these are currently the most efficient graphics card on the market in terms of power efficiency. So that usually will translate into the most efficient mining cards, which is what unfortunately miners also demand. Just like gamers, miners also need to keep the power down, even more so because generally those graphics cards are being mined 24 hours a day. So on this website, we've got 10 GTX 1660 Ti's. We've also got 10 cents a kilowatt hour, which in realistic estimates is actually pretty conservative. For instance, in Australia, I'd say the average price would be around 20 cents US per kilowatt hour. So this is actually pretty low. We can see that we're only earning, even on altcoins, about $8 profit per day, which isn't a whole lot. If we move down to a cryptocurrency like Ethereum, for example, which is what most people would ideally want to be mining, because we'll talk about it soon. Basically, there's been this whole altcoin craze that's ran through in 2017, which I honestly see is a more desirable cryptocurrency for miners to mine than for, say, new altcoins that are starting up. And the reason being is that the whole cryptocurrency market already went through a whole altcoin phase in 2017. And what we've seen with trends is that Bitcoin is still the most dominant cryptocurrency. And in fact, recent trends suggest that Bitcoin is actually surging further ahead in price than all the other cryptocurrencies. So now, basically taking into account 10 GTX 1660 Ti's, it would take that particular person at 10 cents a kilowatt hour approximately 767 days to get their return on investment, which is nearly 2 years. So at the current rates on the market for mining cryptocurrencies with gaming GPUs, it just really isn't that viable. Not to mention that your hardware could burn out in that time, and there's also extra augmented costs involved. Things like managing this mining setup, potential blowouts, extra gear needed like DDR4 memory, a CPU and a motherboard, as well as an extra power supply to power 10 of these graphics cards. So at this point in time, it's not really ideal for someone to go out and buy GTX 1660 Ti's and use them for mining cryptocurrency. However, here is where the big curveball comes into play. That cryptocurrency that we spoke of, Ethereum, it's actually had some talks and even submissions into making that cryptocurrency what is known as anti-ASIC. Because at the moment, Ethereum is currently an ASIC-controlled mining environment. And that is, they have application-specific integrated circuits which are dedicated to mining that cryptocurrency. And this essentially means a lot better efficiency than something like a GTX 1660 Ti, since that hardware is dedicated towards mining that cryptocurrency. Now, this is what has ideally been keeping a lot of the gaming graphics cards and their costs down, is the ASIC miners have moved in and made the gaming GPUs irrelevant for mining cryptocurrency. Another two examples of this is also Zcash and Zencash, a cryptocurrency that I used to follow heavily. They are now ASIC controlled. So what was once mined with GPUs is now being mined with ASICs. However, the recent submission with Ethereum, if it gets approved, could see that ASIC miners are no longer viable to mine this cryptocurrency. And so if this scenario were to happen, then put it quite simply, it would be 2017 all over again, where people would be rushing out to get gaming graphics cards and start mining Ethereum because the profits and return on investment would be so good now that ASICs are no longer competing with gaming GPUs. Now here's where I need your help in the audience. Do you think this submission will be approved? From the research, I'm seeing that it's currently sort of being delayed, and I'm not sure if big companies like Bitmain, and especially all their clients, would be happy with this approval going through, since there is a lot of money, and I mean an absolute ton of money, in the whole ASIC business in terms of the hardware side. They're selling the new hardware, they're making profits, and whether or not they work with the cryptocurrency market to keep it ASIC specific. But one thing I do know for certain is in 2017, a lot of gamers got screwed over on GPU prices when there was suddenly a demand from miners. So now in closing out this video, we've got two sides of the argument here. We've got old school GPU miners that want to keep mining with their graphics cards and they don't want to see ASICs take over the market. But then you've got typical gamers, especially with the Zen 2 launch coming up, for example, that will want to build a new PC, get one GPU, and just start playing games. And I'm sure, and I speak on behalf of a lot of these guys, is that we don't want this whole scenario that we saw in 2017 to happen again, where the gaming graphics card prices were just absolutely absurd. Furthermore, I don't know if Nvidia would be too keen for this to happen again, as when we saw the crypto glut, this actually affected their stock prices big time, with the stock almost halving in as little as 3 months. So it'll be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. But anyway guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, then be sure to hit that like button. Also let us know in the comment section below, do you think these beloved gaming GPUs are at risk? Love reading your thoughts and opinions as always, and I'll catch you guys in another tech video very soon. But if you want to see these tech videos the moment they drop, sub button, also ring the bell, it's just down there, and I'll catch you in another tech video very soon. Peace out for now. Bye.